After days of protest by staff over abysmal working conditions, Apple has put Foxconn's iPhone assembling unit in India's southern state of Tamil Nadu on probation. Speaking to WION, an Apple spokesperson said that the company dispatched independent auditors to carry out a detailed assessment at the Chennai plant. The auditors found that some of the remote dormitory accommodations and dining rooms did not meet the company's requirements. Apple spokesperson added that the company is working with the supplier to ensure corrective actions are rapidly implemented. Now, on the 15th of December, around 159 women from one of the dorms were sent to a hospital after they complained of food poisoning. Some 100 more women needed medical attention but were not hospitalized. 2 days later, when the sick workers failed to show up for work at the factory, the others staged a protest. On the 17th of December, around 2,000 workers from Foxconn hostels took to the streets, blocking a key highway near the factory. And on the 18th of December, after the protests grew larger, the local police launched a crackdown. 67 women workers and a local journalist were detained. Following the protest, food safety inspectors visited the hostel and found rats and poor drainage in the dorm's kitchen. Most of the workers at the plant are aged between 18 and 22 and come from rural areas of the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. 4 state agencies are still carrying out the investigation. The state government had last week asked Foxconn to ensure that working and living conditions at the dorms were improved, including the quality of housing and drinking water. Taiwan-based Foxconn opened the plant in Chennai in 2019 and promised to create up to 25,000 jobs and in a boost to the Make in India campaign. The factory is central to Apple's efforts to shift production away from China due to ongoing tensions between Washington and Beijing. The disorder comes at a time when Apple is ramping up production of its iPhone 13 and shareholders are pushing the company to provide greater transparency about labor conditions at suppliers. The unrest at Foxconn plant was the second involving Apple supplier in India in a year. In December 2020, thousands of workers at a factory owned by Wistron Co. destroyed equipment and vehicles over alleged non-payment wages. Apple had placed Wistron also on probation. And our Chennai correspondent Siddharth MP visited Foxconn's premises in India's Tamil Nadu to understand the situation better. Take a look.
We're taking you into one of the rooms where the Foxconn women employees, most of whom were temporary staff, were housed in. This is just an offsite facility near the Foxconn plant. Here you can see this room. This is barely 150 square feet room where up to 7 women workers used to stay. There are no beds, there are no mattresses. There's just one fan and one light. There is no attached washroom. There is no attached bathroom. There was just one window here in this room, and this is the kind of cramped facility in which they had to stay. This was what was aggrieving the workers and making them extremely uncomfortable. We are told that they were paid barely rupees 10,000 per month, and this is the kind of conditions that they had to manage. And the food provided here was extremely unhygienic, they say, and also it was that food that also led to the food poisoning, and nearly 150 women workers were hospitalized after consuming that food. That was what led to the protests. So these are the conditions that the women were protesting against, and this is also what the Tamil Nadu government had specified to Foxconn, that the women workers need to be taken care of in a better manner and they deserved better living facilities. With video journalist Argar, this is Siddharth MP. WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.